What's up guys, David here, and I'm finally back with another video, this time a drop test of the brand spanking new Galaxy Note 5. Now, if you've been a subscriber of the channel for long enough, you know that we don't do your typical drop test here at Phone Buff, and instead, we do things Phone Buff style, where with the help of a professional drop test machine, we give you the most accurate and consistent drop tests on YouTube, so that way you can take the results from this drop test video and compare them to the results of a previous drop test video that we have on the channel to truly get an apples to apple or Samsung to Apple comparison to get a feel for how durable and how tough a phone is relative to another, because at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. Every phone is eventually gonna break, every phone is eventually gonna crack, but what we wanna see is how long it takes to get to that point and how well one phone does in the same exact test compared to another to truly figure out which one is more durable. With that said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so for this first test, we're going to be dropping the Note 5 on its back from 1 meter onto tile. Ooh, and just like the S6, the Note 5's back cracked from that first drop. It actually did worse than the S6 did, with the cracks on the Note 5 spiderwebbing a lot more throughout the back panel, but it is worth mentioning that these cracks aren't on the very top layer of glass, so you can still technically run your finger across it without really risking it cutting you at this point. Next, we're dropping the Note 5 on its side from the same height. And as you can see, very little damage to the bottom of the phone. There's almost nothing there, so that's actually pretty impressive. For the final drop on tile, we're going to be dropping the Note 5 face first from 1 meter. And it still works. The glass is definitely cracked, mostly along the left side of the phone with some spiderwebbing going across to the right, but the phone still does function with no real damage to the display itself. Alright, so this next drop is onto concrete, and this back drop onto concrete is what pretty much did it for the Galaxy S6, so let's see if the Note 5 can fare any better. Okay, so the back glass is now completely shattered, as you'd kind of expect, and it's so bad that even the camera's glass is cracked, but the phone still works, which you couldn't really say about the S6 at this point. But at the same time, it's not fully functional like some of the other phones we've tested, with the bottom right of the display on the Note 5 not responding to the touch. So the rest of the screen worked, but that bottom right area just wouldn't work. I tried to reboot it and no good. So while it technically survived this drop that the S6 failed, it is still a bit of a disappointing result. So still 2 more drops left to go, the first of which is dropping the Note 5 on its side again, but this time onto concrete. So while the front and the back of the Note 5 are covered in glass, which makes it a little bit more fragile, the side of the phone with that metal band seems to be among the sturdiest that we've tested, with very little additional damage from that concrete side drop. Last drop is also the hardest drop, and that's a face flat drop onto concrete. Okay, so the glass is way more shattered than before, and the display now has visible damage with a vertical streak on the right side, which interestingly is where the screen wasn't working earlier. So in the end, the Note 5 does better than the Galaxy S6 in this drop test, but still not as good as some of the other phones that we've tested. So if you plan on picking one of these guys up, be careful or get a case. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for me in this video. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the very next episode.